Hey guys. All
Hi.
right. So Shelly has that exterior part of the glass bottle window done. And you can see there's some lights inside on right now and how they're shining through the bottles. It gives it a really cool look, especially at nighttime uh, when it's starting to get darker and everything. And we have the lights on in there. So it really, a better effect than we even had hoped for.
Right. And just again, we didn't have this blue trim board up. Now it's up, and I think it just helps, especially with those blue tile up there. It just kind of makes it more colorful and really beautiful, and it's just yay. It's only been a couple weeks,
A few weeks.
a few weeks. You, like we had said, you were on vacation. I was working here and there. We did both end up getting a little sick, so there was a good week that we didn't really get too much done. But
But that week that I was on vacation, we really rocked and rolled. We got a lot done on the interior, and I was able to get all of the interior boards done for the walls.
so now you see, like, that pile that was right here of lumber is now gone. That is our little leftovers, like that little pile right there is our leftovers. So we really managed to use a lot of the pieces efficiently. What cutoffs we did, we were able to use in smaller spots, and some of the contour cuts came out beautiful. Mostly all
Mostly all.
of the contour cuts around the posts came out really beautiful. Now a lot of them are still taped up because
We're not done painting in here. You can see they're already painted some of these walls, but just to give you an idea, this is what it looked like when I finished on the vacation. I just had these walls, the interior walls, done. Then this last weekend, I got in here and started painting everything with that cottage gray stain. Gave it all the pretty color. And now you see she's got the blue tiles in here on the glass bottle window.
now, of course, a couple of them fell out putting on the wall because the vibration of the screws and the pressure. And there's a little bit of cracking finally, and it is on this exterior bit. After we get kitchen cabinets and we're done pounding on the wall and doing construction, I'll patch in. But it's kind of minor issues, so we'll be able to get that fixed pretty easy.
Yeah, and other than just a bag over the back door, we actually installed the back door as well.
Ah, it's so pretty with this big giant window. Our friend, who we've mentioned before, Joe, well, his wife Lori works at a building supply company, and they had some doors. And bam! Look at this gorgeous door, giving us a gorgeous view.
Now, this is not going to be the view forever because this is going to go to the mudroom, but we're still going to keep this door because it still has that openness. So what if you could see into the mudroom? People want to see in the mudroom sometimes because you're like, oh, is my coat out there? Okay, yeah, let me go grab that.
Where did I leave my boots? At the front door? Oh no, they're in the back room. Cool. Like,
Yeah.
so I definitely think that it's gonna be a nice to have this right here. And because there are gonna be windows in the mudroom, we'll still be able to probably see through, just not as much, I guess.
Correct.
But it's a nice thick exterior door. It's got the double pane glass, so for winter, this will be perfect. This will definitely work for holding this space weathered for the winter for us.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you can see I did all the cottage gray on here. I'm not super pleased with like the final how it's turned out. I mean, I dig that you can see some of the knots here and there, but I really wanted a more covered look. So Shelly's gonna go back and roller paint this with the same stain, just give it some extra coats. Um, so everything's pretty much siliconed. Where stuff's meeting up, you can't really get a good aspect of how the posts are going to look except for this corner, and I covered it just for that so you could see it. So that's how it's going to look here on the interior, how the walls are meeting up with the posts.
It'll just be a more of a flat gray and not as, like right here, you can see it's a little more grainy.
Yeah.
Where we want it to be more flat.
Yeah.
Like that as a look. And yeah, you know, like you can see some of the cracks between the boards because rough cut lumber. It's not perfect.
But I like it still, so we're keeping it that way. Um, over and some of these walls, the way these posts are, because they're natural posts that were cut off the property. You see, you're going to see some of the posts here, all the way down here, but then down here, it gets to where you're not going to see it. So it kind of plays a little bit of peekaboo with you on the finished walls, especially over in this back corner next to the door and in the living room. There's like 2 or 3 spaces where the post is going to peek out from behind the boards. So I'm really digging what kind of aesthetic look it's going to have.
You see definitely a lot of stuff still here in the center. We also just came back today from doing a lot of errand running and supply running for quite a bit of things that we're like, okay, let's go ahead and get it. Big giant tub of stuff. As winter's approaching, like we've said, we've had to move our water cabinet. We're going to be moving our water cabinet. We're going to be trying to move out of the camper, which means we also have to move a temporary bathroom inside.
Right.
That's where this tub is going to come in handy as a shower pan. And then it's going to get more uses and stuff and things and whatnot that'll happen with it afterwards. But for this winter, we're going to do a temporary bathroom right inside.
Yeah, so Shelly has that kind of lined out on the floor here of where that's going to be. So that's going to be our temporary bathroom for the winter. So we'll have the shower over here, and then you'll also have the toilet. I mean,
we're going to do a little staircase right out here just so that we can use the store to take, because it's a compost toilet. So it's a bucket. And rather than having to go through the entire building with the bucket, might as well just have stairs go out the door to the bucket dump spot area. Hole.
So, next on our agenda is to finish the painting on these walls. We've already got the silicone next to all of the posts on the interior spots. We've also got junction boxes installed on all the electrical wires that are going to be housed in the ceiling where they're meeting up and connecting to each other, just to reduce fire hazard. Then after that, once we get everything painted, we're going to start on the ceiling, insulating that.
Yeah. And
getting the ceiling boards put up, which again are going to be that pallet wood, but it's going to be painted in a semi-transparent black.
So in like this where you could see the grains, you're going to be able to see the grainage more, but it will be black. So just imagine like a really dark stain. That's kind of how I've been trying to explain it to people that, oh, you're doing it black. Like, no, just a really dark stain.
Yeah.
It is kind of the look that at least we saw on the examples. So, meh.
Yeah, it looked good. So we'll go with that. And then once we're done with that, then we'll move on to cabinets and getting those in here, getting that all done up, plumbed up. A lot of the materials that we got today were plumbing supplies, P-traps, whatnot, so that we can get that installed. Plastic sheeting to go underneath the house to insulate and act as a vapor barrier against moisture.
Because nobody wants cold, wet floors in the winter. Meh.
No. And, some odds and ends, threshold pieces, things like that we're going to be needing. And then we actually got, we've been trying to get this 80-volt leaf blower for about 3 weeks now. Because we bought the Atlas brand from Harbor Freight for our weed eater, our battery-powered weed eater that turned out to work so well. So we went ahead and decided we wanted to stick with the same one. We already got the batteries and the charger, so we wanted to get this, but our local Harbor Freight hasn't had it in stock for almost a month. So even though their website was showing it was in stock, and
their own computers inside the store said that they had it,
yeah,
and then they'd go and look, and no, we don't have it.
Yeah, so eventually I was like, forget this. We're going to the next biggest town, which is an additional 45 minutes away from our house. And there we found exactly what we were looking for.
Since we're talking about it, I'm being silly and just going ahead and opening it because...
Yeah, so this is definitely going to help us for not raking as much, because
I've had to rake so much, and right in front of the door, you're always like piles and piles of leaves, and we do live in an area with snakes, so luckily we haven't had much issue with them like our neighbors have. We've only come across the non-poisonous king snakes, which are really good at keeping copperheads and other poisonous ones away.
Venomous.
Venomous.
Because somebody else is going to say it, so he beat you to the punch there.
So this right here will help keep those piles of leaves away to make it easier to see where we're actually stepping and not hurt any of those little critters, because as much as some people hate snakes, they really do serve a purpose.
That's right.
Unlike mosquitoes.
Yeah, mosquitoes can go extinct, and we wouldn't care.
But this is really awesome. And, I mean, their batteries aren't that heavy. Yes, it is heavy, but it's less than a gallon of gas when it comes to weight. So this is going to be fun. I'm already feeling like I'm going to have a lot of fun with this.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, so that was my main focus, was getting these interior boards up for these walls, started painting and getting this all painted so that we can move on to the next step in the process, which is getting all the kitchen cabinets and everything in here. The flooring is actually going to be done last. That is the last thing on our agenda. It's going to take, in my opinion, the most work, because
Yes.
we actually have to cut the wood rounds, plane them, set them with adhesive, and then grout around them. So that's going to be like last on our agenda as far as, but we'll still be able to get in here and live comfortably for the winter while we're doing all that. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's coming along. I'm definitely, yay, we got stuffs.
It's starting to transform from just being a shell to a home now. So, yeah.
It's really fun being able to come in here and hang out. Some of the days, it's finally starting to cool off, so we've had some hot days, we've had some cool days, and it's been relatively moderately fine inside the house. So even without the ceiling and the floor being insulated, I'm already being able to like get an idea of how homey and cozy, but still cool.
And the days that I really experience it, and it could be different for you, is there have been, 2 or 3 times where we've had like pretty significant storms where we're like, the trees are moving pretty good, and the winds are howling, and the rains are falling, and I don't feel like being in the camper right now. Let's go hang out in the house until that passes. You come in here, and it's like nothing's happening at all.
You can't hear it really. You definitely can't feel it.
No. So that gives me a better sense of security, and as far as knowing that we're safe and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm pleased.
Yeah. We over-engineered the house, but it's definitely sturdy.
All right. I can't think of anything else. Can you?
No, we're going to kind of get to some things. And since it's the end of September, it's been a little shorter of a time since our last video, but we got some stuff done and wanted to share it. And, look at our pretty gray walls. Yeah.
Yeah, so, we'll be checking in with you guys probably towards the end of October, around Halloween time.
Yeah, right before winter fully sets in.
And hopefully we'll have even more accomplished. Maybe have that water closet relocated, some cabinets in here, some plumbing going.
Then we could show off your amazing plumbing skills, because this is going to be something that I'm going to be like, hand you.
Yeah. Those plumbing skills brought to you by the United States government. Thank you. All right. If you don't get that joke, I'm sorry. It's because I was in the Air Force, and that's my job. Was my job in the Air Force. Anyways, but thanks you so much for stopping in, for taking the time to watch our videos, to care about us. Another special thanks to Susan Reynolds, who gave us another donation, which helped us to get some of this stuff here that we needed to move forward with the next projects. Thank you. We feel very blessed that you feel like you can contribute to help the cause. So thank you so much. And guys, thanks just for all the love and the support. It really meant a lot to us. We saw a lot of comments on the last video, and it made us feel really good. Glad you're enjoying them. Feel free to share them, like them, do whatever.
Say hi on it just to make sure, like, hey, did you know that I watched your video? Like, we don't know who watches our videos unless you make a comment. So if you just want to be like, hey, good job, guys, they'll be like, yeah, so-and-so from so-and-so said yeah, and I said, yeah, I'm back.
All right, well, we'll check in with you here in a month, and guys, have a wonderful start of the fall.